Welcome, everyone. We are super excited about the upcoming fall recreational soccer season. We've been working very hard behind the scenes to make sure that we bring you a fun, safe fall 2020 soccer season. Tonight, our meeting is going to cover a number of agenda items. I'd like to first make some introductions, but we're going to go over information like uniform schedules, field duties, our COVID-19 protocols, practice, and our new game day format. So with introductions, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Lula Bauer. I'm the Executive Director of the Lee Mount Vernon Sports Club. I'd like to also introduce to you Vince Vergamini. He is our Director of Recreation Soccer. Next, and he's not here during this presentation, and that is David Kamara. He is our Director of Youth Development. Also with us today is Jessie Gore. She is our Director of Finance Management, and she is our Club Administrator. Next, we have Jennifer Deems. Jennifer Deems is our Director of Marketing and PR. She is also our COVID coordinator. The Vice President of Uniform and Equipment is Tanya Barrows. She couldn't be with us during this recording, but that is also her email. So if you need to get in touch with any of these individuals, their emails are listed, and this is also a recording that you'll be able to refer back to. Thank you. I'd like to introduce our hard-working player directors. Unfortunately, they couldn't be with us today during this recording as well. We have Neil Kreswick. He is our player director for the high school boys. James Dahl, he'll be taking over for the 7th to the 10th grade girls. Linda Pinckney is taking over for she is our player director for the girls 5th and 6th grade. James Dahl is also taking on the girls 3rd and 4th grade. Brent West will be our player director for the 7th and 8th grade boys. Lourdes is our boys 5th and 6th grade player director. And Carolina is our player director for the boys 3rd and 4th grade. I think you'll see something that we've changed because of this particular season. As you know, and if you haven't gotten the email, we have gone back to our roots. And that is where we used to form teams based on a combination of grades, and that's what we're doing this year. So thank you, player directors. And I am going to turn the floor over to Jessie Gore, our finance manager and administrator, and she's going to go over a number of the administrative items for the season. Jessie?
Hi, LMVSC family. We're so excited for this season, and we can't wait to see everybody out on the field. So yes, the season will begin September 12th, 2020. We plan on having the game start that Saturday. Uniforms and equipment. As you know, we are doing things a little bit differently. So we're going to have uniform pickup. Will actually be scheduled on Saturday, August 29th. It'll be at the Extra Storage in Kingstown, and the address is right there. So we're going to do it August 29th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. all on Saturday. This will be a first come, first served for uniform color selection. So as you drive up, myself and Vince will give you options of color choices within your age group, and you get to pick from those choices. The uniforms, equipment, and sanitization bags will be provided to you. You can stay in your car, and we can either put it, in your trunk or your back seat, and then, we'll drop it off to you. Uniform exchange. So if you go home and you see that you actually need different sizes for your players, Tanya Barrows will be the one that will help you with that. She's our VP Uniform and Equipment Manager, and this is her email. So if you need something before game day, say you need a different size for one of your players, just go ahead and email her. Please be specific, indicate what size you want, your set number of your equipment bag, and your age group, whatever you can tell her so she knows exactly who you are. That would help her a lot. Once you have met with your parents, please select a uniform parent. We suggest that you get somebody to help you coordinate to collect all the uniforms at the end of the year so that you can turn them back into the club. Registration, please make sure that all players are registered. We ask that all players on the team must be registered. We allow travel players to play within our rec leagues. I know some clubs don't, but we do. Our policy is that we allow one travel player per team. Once every team has a travel player, then we can add a second or third collectively equally to each team. If the travel player is not registered with LMVSC or and is within another club, that still counts as a travel player. So just make sure that you are aware of that. Game day schedules. The schedules will be out by September 3rd. So we will send those out to you coaches, so you'll have that. And please know that if you are a coach coaching multiple teams or that you're a referee, please let your player director know those things so that we can help coordinate your schedules and so that you won't have, so we can deconflict your schedule for you so that you can actually make it to all of your games. Referees typically, if you need an 8 a.m. beginning of the morning game or later in the afternoon, whatever works for your schedule, if you're refereeing, just let your player director know as well. Reschedule. So there was a time when whenever we made the schedule, the game schedule, and we sent it out, that was it. There were no changes to be made. We know that times have changed and people have busy lives and they have other things that may, conflict with their coaching lives. So we implemented a new rescheduling process, and that is that if you have a conflict, say you have a family event or something going on that you can't make your game in the morning, you can get with your opponent and you can ask them if they are willing to switch. So then whatever time that you decide on that works for you, if there's a game during that time slot, then you can get with those coaches as well and ask that they switch with you. There's a form on the website that you can fill out, and there's also that you fill out, and then you just email that to me, Jessie. There's my email address, admin@lmvsc.org. So we ask that you just get that in at least 72 hours before so we can make the changes reflected on the website. Game fields. Please know that these are subject to change, but this is what we have planned so far. The boys 8th grade, 7th grade to 12th grade will be using Edison Lower, and the boys 5th grade, the boys 7th and 8th grade will be using Edison Lower. Girls 7th to 10th will be using Lee District, and boys and girls 5th and 6th grade will be using Manchester Lake, same as the 3rd and 4th graders. The girls and the boys 3rd, 4th graders will also be using Claremont Elementary School. So all directions to these fields will be on our website. Field duties. So as a coach, you do have the responsibility to set up your fields and make sure they're ready for game, for your matches. The field equipment, must be secured, locked prior to leaving the field. Moving all the goals requires adult and coach supervision. Some of these fields will have bow nets, so they're a little bit lighter, easier to use. Coaches need to ensure our players leave the field in better shape. Coaches and players need to ensure that they field are in better shape than we arrived. Pick up water bottles, make sure you don't leave mess on the field. We actually borrow these fields from the county, so we want to make sure that we are keeping them spick and span and leaving them better than how we found them. If you see something, say something. Make sure goals are locked. Make sure things are put away correctly. Please make sure we are just taking care of our equipment as well. All of this information can be found under the Recreational Soccer Resources page. Under the website, and then it is password protected. So if you get to the field and you need a combination for one of the Joe boxes or the field, or the goals, those combinations will be on the field. or excuse me, will be on the website. Also, with that said, the field duties, we will be sending out field responsibilities to those coaches that are responsible. So if you're the first game scheduled on the field, those two teams, those two coaches will be responsible for setting that field up. And then the same thing with putting everything away. The last two teams, the last game that's scheduled on that particular field, they will be responsible for putting everything away. You will receive an email from me the week before your game, and that way you'll know I have field duty. So if you don't receive an email from me, you know, don't worry about it. But if you do, you'll know that I'm responsible for field duties. And then here's what just a screenshot of what it looks like, how to access it from the website. So referees, we will have one referee at all games. And please work with your referee on game day to ensure spectator and player compliance to guidelines. And we'll go over that in a later slide. Yeah. Please note that some of your referees might be young. Please know that we ask you not to argue with your referee. Please try your best not to pace up and down the field, and try your best not to be the extra player on the field. We love our referees. We are, want to make sure that we treat them with the respect and utmost, respect that we can. So now I'm going to hand the floor over to Jennifer Deans, our Director of PR and Marketing, and she will go over all the COVID-19 safety protocols with you. So take it away, Jen.
Hi, everyone. The LMVSC staff has worked incredibly hard to create a safe environment for our community. All of this information can be found on our website and through the link provided. Every team is going to have a COVID parent. This will not be the coach. I will be working with this parent to let them know what their duties and rules, their duties and will be. The players and coaches are going to need to fill out a COVID pre-screening form for each training and game. It's very short. It's only 4 questions, but it's what's needed to keep our community safe and keep the club moving forward. It's quick and easy. You can do it on your phone. You can do it right before entering the field. You can do it at your house. I have made a sanitization bag for each team. You have hand sanitizer, and you'll have bleach that you can use to sanitize hands and bleach for equipment. So all of these guidelines are going to be sent to families so that they know what's expected, and so that you're not having to police every situation that's out there. They'll know what's going to be required of them to enter the field and to watch the game safely. I am turning the presentation over to Vince now.
All right. So as always, LMVSC's got some great coaching resources available on the website. If you go to lmvsc.org/coaching education, you'll be able to see a lot of the materials that we have up there. For this season, however, I will be providing training sessions for all of the coaches. These sessions will be designed with COVID-19 restrictions in mind, and I'll just be sending those out every Sunday evening to the coaches, 2 for the coaches that have multiple practices in that week. Coaches are welcome to adjust at their discretion, obviously, but they should really just try to keep in mind to minimize the amount of contact during training. And also, if you ever need guidance or assistance during the season, feeling a little lost with practices, please feel free to reach out. You can call me, you can email me. I will be available to come out and help you if you so desire. The coaching education, this is how you get to it on the website. So if you just go down to our scroll down menu, you'll be able to find it. It's got information on how children learn, which is a great little document to help you depending on which age group you're coaching, player characteristics. The lesson plans that are there are not COVID friendly, but you can perhaps browse them and maybe they give you some inspiration for some COVID practices. The sample parent meeting agenda, I would recommend you read through. When you do your parent meeting, just remember to keep everybody socially distanced. Oops, sorry about that. So practices. You will be receiving a practice request Google form this season along with this presentation. Due to COVID-19, we are going to be limiting the amount of teams that can be at any one location on any given night. We have big grass facilities, but we still want to make sure that we have limited interaction between groups. The way it's going to work is when you select a field, for example, Manchester Lakes Upper, you will have access to that field from anywhere from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., which will allow you to adjust for daylight savings as the season goes on. We recommend you still only practice an hour and a half maximum. The form that I'm sending out eliminates choices as people select them. So if somebody's already selected Manchester Lakes Upper for Tuesday nights, and that's the one you wanted, unfortunately it will not be available. When you fill out the form, please make sure to select 2 training spaces if you coach 7th grade and up, and only 1 if you coach 3rd through 6th. Any forms that I receive with more than their allotted time slots, I'm going to delete. I'm going to have to request new ones just because I want to make sure that everybody is able to get field space. We may have some turf space available in a few weeks. We are waiting on the travel soccer program to finish their practice grid. They are under the same restrictions as us, trying to make sure that their teams are not all bunched up on one field. When I do get that list of available turf space, I will create another form. I will send out the a form, and I will get first come, first serve space to any rec team requesting it. When you are at practice, you will be sharing the field with maximum 2 teams on the same field. That's for the biggest of the facilities. We ask that no matter what age group is next to you, you do not interact with them. So no scrimmaging, no congregating at water breaks between the groups. Please find your own area of the field, run your session, and keep the group separate during training. And then, as always, we've got field closures due to weather every once in a while. Hopefully we'll get a nice and sunny fall. Any field closures will be communicated by 3 p.m. on any given day. We'll be sending out emails. We'll be updating the website. Social media page will have these updates. We're also looking into creating some WhatsApp groups, which have been very effective for our club to communicate that information. So I'll be working with the coaches to get that information to them on how to use the WhatsApp and make sure that you get those messages.
Okay. Game day format. So again, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we've had to adjust the game sizes so that we can better manage the season. We will be going with a 7v7 game format for the 7th to 12th graders. They will be playing 30-minute halves with a 10-minute halftime on these small-sided fields at either Lee District or Edison. We'll play with normal FIFA laws, so corners, throw-ins, free kicks, all the good stuff, unlimited substitutions. The 3rd through 6th graders will be playing 5v5s. They will also have 30-minute halves and a 10-minute halftime. We'll be using normal FIFA laws there as well. We will have unlimited substitutions. The only special rule that we have in there for right now is no scoring directly from the kickoff. Now, obviously, this is going to be an adjustment for us. We will be reviewing these rules after the first games and getting feedback from coaches to see if this is going to work with these current rules. If we need to make adjustments, we will communicate that and make sure that everybody's on the same page. We define a blowout as a 5-goal differential between teams. We ask that coaches try to avoid this at all costs. The required action, if you really see your team dominating in a game and you're starting to get a bit of a lead, try rotating players to different positions. Substitute players that are, your best players. You may want to, give them a little bit more rest that day. Require increased touches, increased passes before scoring. You can get creative with all this stuff to make it challenging for your team, but make sure that they're still playing. If it reaches 5 goals, you will have to pull a player from the field. So if my team is up 6-1, I will go down a player. If my team goes up another goal, I'm going to have to remove another player. So we obviously want to discourage the 5-goal differential from ever happening. We just want to make sure that all these kids are having fun as they return to play here this fall. Oh, there it is.
Thank you, everyone. We're so looking forward to bringing some sense of normalcy to our community youth here in the Lee and Mount Vernon district. We appreciate your time and attention. We appreciate your volunteerism, and we are looking forward to a wonderful fall 2020 season. If you should have any questions about the format, about coaching, please make sure you reach out to Vince Vergamini, our Director of Rec Soccer. If you have any administrative questions, please reach out to Jesse Gore, our club administrator and finance manager. And all COVID questions, please reach out to Jennifer Deems. Jennifer and Jesse have been working through the COVID guidelines since July, when we have been released by the governor and by BYSA to return to play. So we just want to make sure that you all know that your safety, our safety, the player's safety, the family safety is our #1 priority, and this information will be sent out to those that are in need. So thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you on the pitch. Bye.